fight. Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. Summoning creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright. Caffeine rush fueling his creativity inside. Got a YouTube channel where he's shining so bright. MTG 3, the show that takes flight. He's a lyrical beast, spitting fire with every bite. Rap metal flow, pounding beats to insight. No one can stop him, he's on a meteoric height. Super fast tortoise, the champion of the fight.
Are you listening?
Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Wow.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on?
pretty good. Pretty decent. We got a full cast here today.
It was
Holy
like a
cow.
magic trick. There was a big puff of smoke, and then suddenly Coogie Dude appeared.
Right?
That's right. Yeah. Wow. Yes, I've been planning that for weeks.
I'm not sure how you worked that out with Hillbilly, but it was amazing.
Amazing. Well,
right. It was
as we
amazing.
all know, Hillbilly is a man of many talents.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Good
so,
morning.
so excited for y'all to be here. Yeah, like we're going to be talking about commander deck building and some things today. Because we've got a question of the day that comes up, and it's like a question that can coincide and generate. Just to let everybody know, in Discord, you can always ask a question of the day in the right server, and you can film it off your phone like this, and it doesn't have to be Magic related. It can be anything related, as long as it's kosher and fits guidelines. I'd love to have your questions come in. Like Ball probably has something spicy up his pocket.
Yeah. I don't know. I still can't find that link on Discord.
That's okay. We'll have to figure that out.
Yep.
Figured it out. So I'm
I
feeling a little bit drained because I haven't had anything to eat yet. So we're gonna try to get through this and do awesome. So there's some changes to the show that have been made. I don't know if you noticed the countdown music's different, and I got a show bumper for after a certain part of the show, which we'll get to actually more shortly than whatnot. Hey Billy,
y'all
how you doing?
doing pretty
No.
good.
Yeah.
Didn't get to stream this morning, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna stream this afternoon.
You stream this afternoon. Stream. Yeah, he had some important pop up early in the morning that he couldn't avoid. He was talking about it beforehand. Glad he was able to get it done. It just sucks that it happened so last minute.
Yep.
Yeah. Kick dude, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing well. Getting better every day.
Uh-huh.
So I'm happy with what's going on, and I'm going in the right direction. I'm not going backwards, which is great.
That's good.
Because backwards is bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm doing good. I mean,
Nice. I
yeah,
saw that you made a cherry pie yesterday.
I did.
Did you
It
play
was
the song?
yummy.
Did you play the song? She's my cherry pie.
No, I didn't have a warrant available to me at the time. I know I have it somewhere in my mass collection.
Mhm.
It is somewhere.
That's somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah, they showed on Facebook that he made a cherry pie from scratch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
not totally from scratch. The filling was, store bought, but I made the crust from scratch.
that's better than what I can do. I have to buy everything pre-bought and pre-made.
I still gotta perfect the crust. It's been a while,
That's all right. It's all
but
right.
means I'm doing good.
Yeah.
So let's find out how Talbot's doing. Apprentice.
Talbots.
Tailorbots. I'm sorry, I'm massacring your handle.
That's quite all right.
Moving full.
Yep, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doing good. Staying safe in that
My
crazy
voice is
Oklahoma
better.
weather.
yeah, I'm staying safe. My voice is getting better too. My throat.
That's
So
good.
it's getting
good.
better.
That's good. Oh, where are you going? Switch. There you go.
Switch.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep it looking kosher. All right, that's getting moving full. I'm glad you're staying safe because Oklahoma's got it beaten this year.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're
terrible.
safe. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad everybody else is safe. Tybalt
Hey,
or
how's it
Matt
going?
Saxon, crazy dude. How are you doing?
Indeed. Back from Plains walking to Thunder Junction, and actually, it wasn't on Thunder Junction. I went to Knott's Berry Farm and opening some packs. That's what I did yesterday, so that was
Cool.
exciting for me.
That was exciting. I saw your Instagram video.
Ah,
The opening packs.
yep.
I'm like Thunder Junction. He's gonna pull off a spicy card.
I think I did. I think I got a couple of good ones there. To be perfectly honest, I opened all the packs, rushed home afterwards, spent the whole afternoon editing, and then hopped in the car and went to the game store for some games last night. So I haven't even really looked at the cards myself to really see what I have yet.
You went to the game store last night
Absolutely, man.
after Knott's Berry Farms.
I hate to rub it into everybody else, but I'm so lucky that I've got places that I can go play like that. So
Right.
I mean, I got
Not
a
only
place,
that,
but
at our age, that's like double time. Like you probably slept good last night.
I'm completely embarrassed because, yes, my voice is rough. I literally rolled out of bed. I haven't eaten breakfast yet or whatever because I knew I was going to be on here. I had such a stressful night last night.
Oh man, that's cool. You got to sling some cards last night after Knott's Berry Farm, opening some packs.
That was
Seems
fun.
very thematic.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah.
Captain Waffles, how are you doing? All right. Well, he's pumping gas, I think, right now. He'll get back to us. Captain Waffles from the road. That's how he goes. Let's say hello
on
to
the
people
road.
in chat. People in chat, we got Zombie. Zombie, what's up? You here for a minute? You can't hang out because you got a doctor's appointment. Well, be safe, have fun. World, what's up? Ooh, great great goat has entered the chat. Yep. Waffles, turn your volume up real. Fixed it. All right. Good. Oh, let's see. This is an interesting comment. Unfortunately, I wanted to be a chef. Never went through with it. Though I learned how to cook a lot of stuff. That's good.
That's a good
That's
skill
good.
to have. That's a great skill to have, actually.
Oh, yeah.
In my early life, I was a chef in a restaurant. You know,
Oh,
I forgot a lot of stuff that I learned. You know,
Yeah, he went from being a chef to flipping coke.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I was a coke dealer for many years.
Right.
You
like he's like, for those who don't know, he actually worked for a Coca-Cola company.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I thought. I just thought there should be some context for that.
Right. Retired from
Funny.
Coca-Cola in 2017.
My jacket's
So-
kind of getting faded, but he actually gave me like a legitimate Coke jacket one day to wear,
Cool.
like a worker's coat, not the red ones that you see people wearing or buying, but an actual worker's jacket for people who work for the company. I thought it was cool.
very cool.
Well, I mean, if he did it back in 1890, then yeah, he was a coke dealer.
That's right.
Right? Twice
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Yeah, they used.
Maybe.
I think they used. Dennis created Coke. You know, and it evolved over the years. You know, the downfall was when they came out with new Coke in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
When the Mormons bought Coca-Cola, they took out the caffeine and called it New Coke, and it was a disaster. But they still have the two flavors. You can still buy the New Coke and the original Coke. Coca-Cola in Mexico uses a different formula than the United States, because if you ever see Mexico, it's in bottles because they use corn syrup. America doesn't use corn syrup in their Cokes anymore. So
Right.
I'm sure you can buy it. They have all kinds of flavors. I'm sure you can buy in America corn syrup. I mean, at least when I was there, they had doing all kinds of new experimental stuff.
Right.
Down here in Southern California, we can get the Mexican Cokes pretty easy in the area that I'm
Yeah, that's good. You have a
Yeah.
taste.
We-
It tastes
We have them
better.
up here.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, you get them in the bottles, but there's a lot down in Southern California.
Mhm.
You can buy a 30-pack of those up here in Washington at Costco.
nice.
Nice.
The
Yeah.
one thing I missed the most from Coca-Cola was Vault, the Mountain
Oh,
Dew.
yeah. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that they. No company can match Pepsi's Mountain Dew. Coca-Cola has tried. They've tried 3 different recipes to try and compete with Mountain Dew, but they can't.
I used to be a Mountain Dew drinker, but then I switched over to Pepsi.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
if you knew what Pepsi was made out of, you'd have second thoughts.
Biasly. Oh my lord.
Whatever happened
All
to
right.
Jolt?
But Vault,
Yeah.
Jolt was a drink too. But Vault
Yeah.
was like Mountain Dew for Coke.
Gotcha,
Right.
gotcha.
But
Whatever
it
happened
was,
to Jolt though? Did anybody else drink that, or was I the only
Oh,
one? Because
You're
I'm
the
still
only
awake.
one. That
Oh.
Jolt.
I drank it once and then never
I
drank
never
it
had
again.
Jolt.
Oh my gosh, I had so much Jolt when it was out and stuff, and then couldn't understand why I was up for like 2 days. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good though, but it will keep you up.
yes, it
Yeah.
will.
Yeah,
Is that code for something else there, Tibble?
No, it's in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s or whatever. They had the Jolt that was twice the all the sugar and twice the caffeine.
Yeah.
No, I remember it. I was just
Oh,
throwing out there that you were using a code word.
Right.
no.
Yeah. No, it was I remember drinking one, and that's all I had because it kept me up for 2 days.
Yeah,
That's all you needed. You drink one a year and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what I like about Vault. But I also remember Surge. Surge you can still find as like a specialty item nowadays. But Surge was good too. This is the green soda. Surge
Yeah.
is still good, but it's not good if you're diabetic.
Ooh.
It is
you have
good
one
though.
can, you don't eat if you have one can of Surge, you don't eat for the rest of the day. Keep your sugars level. Even
I can't find Surge here in Kentucky.
right. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that man when I was out there on that road. Oh man, I love that Surge.
Mm-hmm. But one of my favorite drinks to get when I got more of the funds to get it, because it's more expensive, but it's a bigger can, is a Monster energy drink, the green Monster energy drink.
Hey.
You know, like,
That's
well,
tough.
I don't drink it all the time, but the nice thing is you can get them 0 sugars. You
Yeah.
know, so it's less harsh on the pancreas.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cool.
you're not supposed to drink those. Your name isn't Kyle.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that Monster. I remember when it came out of Coke. They were the only company authorized to sell it, other than Monster.
Mm.
You know, and it started out with the green one, and then they came out with, I don't know, I think they have like 10 different varieties. You know, they came out with the coffee one, and then the lemon one, and I don't remember. I used to be able to buy a case of Monster for like $2.
Wow, that's
Wow.
pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's 'cause you work for the company.
I bought like at one time I had like 20 cases in my house, and then I gave them I gave them to my family because my daughters love drinking the energy drink. I can't drink it anymore. It's too much caffeine and too much.
Yeah.
It will wreck me. But I like the coffee ones.
Mm-hmm. Coffee ones are pretty decent too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they had the
With
zero.
those
I drink them all the time, the coffee ones.
Yeah. They're very good.
Yep. But
you know?
being a diabetic, Coke Zero is my drink of choice nowadays.
Yeah.
I've switched to that myself, my wife and I and stuff. I guess I was labeled as pre-diabetic recently at the doctor, so I had to make some changes and stuff. So so no more Baja Blast. Instead, we do the Coke. Actually, Baja Blast has a zero sugar thing too, but yeah, I switched to Coke Zero for the most part.
Yeah. Coke Zero.
See, I switched to those poppies because I don't want to, get to the range of diabetic or pre-diabetic, and those ones are super healthy. And you don't drink them like regular Coke, because if you drink too many a day, you get to run to the bathroom a lot.
Oh, yikes!
Yeah, so I have like one of those every other day, and it curbs my soda appetite.
Oh,
I've
nice.
been looking for those drinks, but can't find them nowhere.
Costco has them, and then if you can't find them on Costco, you can actually get them on Amazon.
I had to go to Amazon because we ain't got no Costco down here yet.
Yeah.
Man, this has been a great introductory segment of the day. But now we're going to play with the new bumper because the bumper was made so after we get done with the introductions and have a fun small opening conversation, the bumper is to change the flow.
You are watching Super Fast Tortoise.
Put up a fight, gonna leave them all in fright. Playing Magic the Gathering on a Saturday night. So many creatures, casting spells with all his might. Sipping on more coffee to stay awake and bright.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep.
Wow. You're so talented.
It took me an hour and a half, but yeah.
Wow. It take me a month and a half to get that done.
So
I can hear again. My ears stopped bleeding.
So the point of the bumper is to change the show from the opening to get into the point where we start focusing on like the pictures of the day to the topic. It's just and to remind people to do all the stuff as well. But like that's what it's for. Like I have to get more natural at it. More fulfilling with it. Because, we get a good conversation, and sometimes you just don't want to interrupt it. But, I got a private message asking about something, and I'm like, oh, we need to get to that part, right? Yep. And Hillbilly's looking all confused and disheveled over there with his glasses on his face like a Muppet. But he knows what time it is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Am I a man or am I a Muppet?
It is time for...
Card of the day.
Card of the day.
Faithful mending.
Faithful mending. This is what happens after you're done eating a big meal. You're faithfully mending. There you go. You're praying to God that your belly will settle down and you can digest all the Thanksgiving food. There you go. So anyways, I found this card and I was looking at it. I'm like, you know what? We're going to choose this card because I just went into Scryfall and typed in faith to see what all kind of cards would come up. And this card popped up as one of the cards. And I'm like, reading the card, it says you gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, and this card 2 cards. I'm like, what? This card is nuts. I'm like, instant 2 mana, filter out 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard. And it has flashback.
Yep.
I mean, that's good. That's good. Like, I could see this being played more in a tournament deck to a casual deck.
Yeah.
So I actually played this card with it was a mill deck that you played this with. You basically would throw it's like a 7 mana artifact creature that unearths for 1 and triple blue.
Right.
And so what you do is you faithful mending and chuck it in the graveyard, and then you turn 4, unearth that creature, attack, and it mills half their deck rounded up or down. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And so you basically pitch a bunch of those to the graveyard and you attack with a couple of them, and then you play the new Jace, the Phyrexian Jace, and mill them out.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's pretty cool. Actually,
I've actually seen that deck.
Mhm. That's pretty
Way
cool.
too
I didn't know
many,
that
yeah.
existed. But like, I was reading this card, I'm like even if you have no cards in hand, like this fits in Esper Reanimator decks. This will be good for that. This helps you get rid of those lands that are just sitting in your hand when you're just doing nothing and you
Yep.
need some cards. 2 mana.
Azorius Control likes this card too because of the 2 life and then filtering through the deck.
Right. Getting it through. For 2 mana, it's still the flashback is extra sauce. Flashback for 3 mana, that's not horrible. I mean, getting to play the spell twice off one card is pretty nuts.
I'm going to
Not to mention
shamelessly
it's
plug myself
playing-
really quick and just say that I just put like 3 or 4 of those in my store. I'm actually holding one in my hand right now. You can't see me, but I've like actually just put those literally in my store.
Nice.
Yep.
Shameless plug. His store is called Darc Ritual on TCG Player. His store is linked in the description down below.
I actually checked that Darc Ritual out today this morning.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to crash in there and do that, but
No, you're good.
it's funny
You're
just
good.
because I'm holding it like in my hand right now, like literally. Here we
Show
go.
them
I
off?
just loaded it up and I just sleeved it, and now it's going in my box with the other 4 or 5. I came across the stash of them recently. That's why.
Nice. That's pretty
On
cool.
the 7 piles on your desk.
7, 17, 70 piles, something like that.
Well, here's the layout of Tibalt's office, right, or Matt Saxon's office, right. He has a door that's way up high, and there's like a diving board, and underneath the diving board is a bunch of magic cards. And every morning he wakes up, he dives from the diving board into these stacks of cards and like body surfs on the cards, kind of like DuckTales intro.
Exactly. I was going to say, you seen Scrooge McDuck? It's the exact same thing except cards. No money, just cards.
Just cards.
Right,
Wow.
that's how it works.
It'd be even funnier if it was just nothing but islands, because then he could say that he's swimming.
Nice.
Right. Right. And for some pictures of the day brought to us by Mrs. Hillbilly, we got, hang on, coffee's on its way.
Aw.
Oh,
Someone found a picture of me in the morning right here. I need some coffee.
strong coffee.
Peanuts coffee.
Coffee.
Peanuts, coffee. Yeah, it looks like you in the morning.
Well, I think
Cigarettes in backwards.
I think whoever made this picture covered up whatever logo was there or whatever messed it up so it didn't look completely AI.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
look,
cigarettes in the mouth backwards, though.
That's what I was about to say.
Well, I mean, that could be legit because you're still waking up and you're not paying attention to what end is what.
Exactly.
Fair.
For sure. That's fair.
Yeah.
Love the smell of coffee in the morning.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, some Jackrabbit. Just
Kind of looks like Chihuahua.
Yep. I could see that.
Coffee.
That's like anybody from California who jumps on the show.
Mhm.
That's Captain Waffle, the ball, Kooky Dude. They're like, man, what time is it in the morning? Is this a healthy hour to be awake? This is the morning show.
I always wake up
Yeah.
at like 7 o'clock, which is like 5 o'clock their time.
Mm.
Right. For me, it's like almost noon, like I started an hour before noon. But
Yeah.
all right. Then the next picture. Deep down, I'm secretly a morning person. Very deep down, like the bottom of the cup of coffee.
That's like
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the last picture Tibalt shared with us. Boom.
Boom.
Like you guys walking out of the store. He has a Ghidorah.
Yep. King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Flying by and knocks coffee out of his hand and he pisses Godzilla off. Yeah, I'd feel the same way too.
Mm.
Spent like $12 in that Starbucks coffee. God damn it.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Pretty
Yeah.
chill. Ooh, man. How crazy is that?
That is
Right.
me.
That was a good
That's
segment of
crazy.
pictures there, though. I appreciate that, Mrs. Hillbilly and Matt Saxon, for sharing the photos. In fact, doing you guys, like when you guys help out, like sharing pictures, like doing a question kind of the day kind of thing, it makes my morning so much easier that I was able to edit the countdown to add music to it and do a couple things to improve the show while I was setting things up. So
Cool.
not only does it help the show with content and getting some cool stuff out because it gives me time, it helps improve the show too because you guys do a good job at finding things sometimes I have a hard time finding. So yeah. So it helps out. And let's really quick say hello to people in chat. Metamonk! Using your Dak and Dak. Dig for Lands. Metamonk. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Now, Hillbilly has a question of the day today, right? Hillbilly came in. I don't know. I would ask Hillbilly what the question of the day is, but really, he already knows.
Actually, I don't, because I done forget.
Right. The question of the day is brought to you by Hillbilly today. And we might have to pull up a screen, but he has a question for all of us to answer.
I got a question for everybody. How do you find the value of a card? I mean, how can you look it up to see how much it's worth?
Ew. Cougar Dude can answer that one right away.
That's right. You go to some website and it
Right.
tells you the value.
All right. So if you're looking for a card, I can't show you like how to do this, but you can get TCG Player downloaded from the Play Store or whatever store is on your phone because you might have Apple, and you can actually scan the cards with their little app to bring up the price of the card and how much it's selling for in different listings. The way I like to do it myself, because I don't have the app on my phone right now. So I go to Card Kingdom myself because they're usually a little bit higher than like TCG Player, but they're the site I buy from the most, unless I'm buying from a friend. I'll go there, look up the card by name, and see what the listing is for the price there is, and I'll gauge that by how many listings are being sold for what and what versions. But that's just me. Anybody else got any ideas or thoughts on how they do cards?
Well, I just use TCG Player on my phone and scan the cards. How much it's worth.
If I was to buy something, which I don't really buy cards, I usually just go to draft. But if I was, I'd go to Scryfall because if it's a card that has multiple reprintings and stuff, they'll show the other reprintings and how much the reprintings cost too. And that's a good way to find these cards. That's a good way to find cheaper cards too.
Yep.
Just to have multiple reprintings at least.
Reprinting. So, but you want to buy cards that you want the value of the card to be low when you get it, and hopefully it will increase in the future.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a little bit old school.
You
back
buy
in the day,
Skyfall magazine?
No, not that old school. Before TCG Player, I used to have like 7 tabs open on my computer where it was like Troll and Toad, Star City Games, Channel Fireball, Cool Stuff Inc., all the different main distributors and stores that used to sell before TCG became a big thing. Even now today, I'll look at TCG Player, but I'll also look at the other stores because every once in a while you get lucky. And let's say Tiny Bones is like 25 on TCG, and you go to Star City and they're like, we're selling it for 20. So sometimes they won't even list it on TCG. They'll just have a flash sale on one of those sites, and I'll pick up some, cards for cheap on their site. So it just depends on how much effort I want to put into it. But like everybody else, 90% of the time I'm on TCG because it's just easy and convenient.
Right. Well, so I'll tell you, go to like the Balt store and buy cards from him. And like when I say that, I mean just buy cards from him only. And that's not because I'm biased. Like TCG Player for me is confusing because if I usually when I go shopping for cards, I have like a big list of cards. Sometimes 10, sometimes 15, sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on how much dough I got to spend. And with TCG Player, a lot of the shipping is divided between all the stores. and they all come in different packs. And like one time last time I ordered from TCG Player, one of the cards came in individually and is poorly wrapped, and that's because it came from across the country. Who knew? Or like not across the country, but across from another country, and it was weird. So like when I say when you go to TCG Player, shop the people you know. Go to Matt Saxon's place. He's locally in the nation. Let's put it that way, and he does good packaging, and he sends it out right away as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. I didn't mean for this to be a commercial for me or whatever, but like I put them in shipping shields. I make sure that they're good, hard covers on them. Try to fit as many in there. I try to send a free gift. I mean, a gift. I send an extra card. It's a random card. It'll be maybe a different artwork or something like that. I always try to do a little something extra. Basically, I try to treat people the way that I would like to be treated. When I ship, also, I let people know as soon as things are going in the mail, which is usually, like I said, within 24 hours. Actually, it's within usually 2 hours or whatever, like since I'm disabled and at home most of the time or often. When I get orders in, I usually ship them within, like I said, within a few hours. And I send out an email to everybody that's getting it, letting them know that it's coming. And, a lot of times I ask people what deck it's going in and stuff, because I'm actually interested. One of my things that I love about the game, like I said, is the community. So I'm always interested in what people are building and stuff, because I like to hear, maybe hear some strategies, some synergies and stuff. Like I said, I'm looking at this Faithful Bending now, and now I'm thinking about taking it back out of the store, because I think I could use that in a couple of decks. I hadn't thought about that. Like, that's going to get me to my what do you call it? My approach to the second sun faster.
Right.
So like, wow, why am I not using that in my decks? What the heck?
You know what you should do, Tabalt?
What's that?
Because sometimes you get a deal, but get some stickers made, probably not this big,
Mm-hmm.
and slide it in your cart. Like you can get like 2-inch stickers, which is half the size of this, and slide it in your package as like little advertisements of your logo. It says Tabalt's Apprentice or Dark Ritual.
Right.
Something that can be made up. So people who buy from your store can like stick it on their deck box or their binder or something.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And from what I know, you're probably going to need about 7 to 10 more copies.
Mm-hmm. 7 to 10 more copies.
Yeah.
Well, when he goes swimming through his pool of cards on the floor after he jumps in to go diving, with his life jacket on, he'll find a couple more copies probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig. I'm absolutely going through. I've got 2 more boxes of 2 more of the fat pack boxes, or what are they called these days? Bundle boxes or whatever. Yeah. I've got 2 more set up of multicolored cards. So I'm going to go through those. And that's the thing with this is also going to be like a TCG Player app commercial. But that's what absolutely revolutionized or changed or actually helped me start actually selling, because it used to take me months. I used to sit there and go through Star City, and it was a pain to look up and get a real actual value for cards. So back in the day, Star City had their buy list and stuff. So I would spend like a month sorting through cards, trying to fill out their buy list, and then just sending things to them. And like sometime along the way, it's like, you know what? I'm wasting my time and money doing this. With this TCG Player app, I can scan the cards immediately, get a value for it. And it's like, well, I might as well be selling them myself. So, I mean, what I'm doing, and again, this shouldn't be a commercial for me or whatever, but I think anybody, if you get that app, anybody can maybe start doing that. And it makes a difference, if your collection or whatever, you can start getting rid of cards, turn those cards over. If you can't trade them, probably the best thing would be to trade them in person, or if you can sell them in person, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you can't, using that app gives you a good basis for what the price is and stuff. That's a good way to go from there.
I think I know what the next topic of Tabalt's morning report is going to be. Sound very passionate about it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start getting to the topic of the day, because one, we're like 40 minutes in, and And I think we should get some substance in here that's based off what we've been talking about. But it's good because the question of the day coincided. That's actually kind of why I made the topic of today. We've covered this topic a little bit before, so not too much rehashing. Fun show, fun times. So the topic of the day is what makes a fun Magic the Gathering community. Community. Why did I put community? Okay, I put community build. That's the word community is not supposed to be in there. Okay, it's supposed to be commander. What makes a fun Magic the Gathering commander build? With the building of the there he goes, building of the community. I typed that in, and it's in the description, everybody. With the building of the commander and the growth, what makes a good commander? Okay, whatever.
It sounds like you're having my problem.
No, take a deep breath and start over.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's my
honestly
problem. My
copied
dyslexia kicks up.
I honestly copied over the yesterday's dialogue. So let me go over here. So what makes MTG deck building fun? How do you get into deck building? Where do you start with deck building? What structures is best for you to get into commander deck building? What are things you get into deck building? What are things you feel must be in a deck? Reanimation, removal, board wipes, ramp, draw, etc., etc. Let's talk about it. See, that's how simple that's supposed to be. So,
who wants to jump on that one?
All right.
All right. I'll jump in first if nobody else is going then. So I have no idea. That's a question that's been on my mind. And so, yeah, it's a good question of the day. But the way I'm starting, because I'm going to build a deck, it's fun and funny to me because my wife has built all kinds of decks and she barely even played the game. She does now. She does play more and stuff like that. But even before then, she fell in love with the cards and she started building around what she thought was interesting, things that she liked.
Right.
So my deck building, the next deck that I'm going to build, it comes from a challenge. And somebody else that I was talking to challenged me to build a competitive deck. So one of the first ways that I began to look at this is start limiting myself by what I don't want. It's really overwhelming if you look out there and you see thousands of cards and think, oh my gosh, there's so much what I want to do. Unless you find a commander card that you love, you come across a legend and say, I want to build this and so on. I don't have that. Well, I've got that luxury because I got millions of cards. I'm overwhelmed with it. So it took me, or it's taking me, to decide what I don't want, to figure out what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I decided that I liked Reanimate. I decided there was a 60-card deck that is my absolute favorite deck. And so what I'm going to do is start with something similar to that and start building out. I decided that Reanimate is kind of the mechanic that I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't decided the commander. Actually, I have kind of decided the commander. It's a Sphinx artifact that when it goes to the graveyard, or when it comes into play, rather, you get to pull something out of the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So I plan on cashing in on those effects. So the first thing I'm going to do is put things into Scryfall or the Oracle, and start typing in the keywords that I want to focus around and start building down from that. I'm sure that I'll get a list of cards that are, 100 or 200 cards long. I'm going to start saying, well, this isn't my colors. This is not something that I like. This is not an effect that I want. And that's one way.
Charamon or whatever her name is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I feel you because I guess a weird way to think about building a commander deck is I like to read the commander as the instructions. Right? The commander does something, and I kind of want to follow suit with it, or make it follow suit with the deck based on what the commander does. What I mean by that, if I build a deck to follow suit with it means the commander is going to lead the deck, and I want to cast him probably more times than possible. If I build a deck that the commander suits with more, it means I'm building a deck that the commander just emphasizes a strategy better as part of the 99 kind of, but running for the colors. but like there is kind of a framework I get into because like when I built my Valky Got a Lies deck, and I'm still working on it technically because I just got a sweet board wipe for it because board wipes are awesome. Right? But like and thanks James Willis, by the way, because James Willis secretly sent me his winnings from Hillbilly, and that's how I got this board wipe. And so like when I build a deck, I'm like, okay, let's scour the lands for all the cards that does all the things that kind of fit the theme. Which I'm trying to get more cards for the deck because I want the card to have this salty discard theme. You know, true to Balt's fashion, really. Not to Balt's Apprentice fashion, but to Balt's Rakdos fashion. And I want to build the deck where it races my opponent's hands because the colors has a hard time racing on the board state, you know. But the Balt comes into play. He makes people discard a card basically. And when I come up with that theme, when I come up with a theme and try to look for cards for the deck, I also try to fill in removal spells, cards that remove creatures, artifacts, enchantments, whatever is good in the colors. Board wipes for sure. I try to get a couple in there. Reanimation and whatever color can run it, yes, and draw power, which I should be having for Phyrexian Arena, probably coming in today, maybe with Captain Waffle stuff. Mel's been slow because all the weather around us has been horrible. So I'm still waiting on all that stuff.
You need a Breach of the Multiverse for that deck.
Probably. Does not have one.
Nice. So do you have a shell? Do you have a specific shell? Do you have numbers associated with those things that you're
yes,
looking to build?
I got something I call the scope, but maybe I should call it a shell towards theme. But the scope, I run like if I can, the shell is more of a control-based algorithm, right? Like if you're going to run these numbers, you're running a control deck where you're running an aggro deck. So the numbers are not permanent. They're just there to be like, well, this is the kind of style you like to run. I like to run up to 9 removal spells. I like to run up to 5 board wipes. I like to run up to 5 draw spells and 5 ramp spells, and I mix and twine varying on the colors, like because there'll probably be more ramp spells and draw spells varying what color you're in. And now just the spells, and I call it the scope. I call it the scope because that package right there, like, shows you how your deck's going to run and how fast it will run or how fast it will operate. But like that design scope has changed a lot in my eyes. Like I still run by it, like it's ingrained in my brain. I still run by it, but like I always try to flex those numbers around by how fast I want to win. And the biggest thing that changed for me when I did that was when I was building the Rafika the mini deck. When I was building the deck, it came down to how fast do I want to remove a player from the game, right? Well, in order to remove a player from the game by turn 10, I have to run less removal spells, less board wipes, and more synergistic enchantments and artifacts to go with it. So I built the deck to remove a player by turn 6. All right. Turn 6, if a player is not removed from the game, I'm not doing my job. So I run three removal spells, one board wipe actually, and that's actually a removal spell or a board wipe. So that's just 3 altogether. Now the giveaway deck's built a little more into the tune of playing Commander, not removing a player by turn 6, but a deck that actually stays in the game longer because my Rafika the mini deck wants to remove a player from the game. The other one will be more synergistic with staying in the game as long as possible and having a fair game.
I don't want to monopolize this, but I got 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
So the first question is, do you find that your decks all come out the same if you use that shell? Now, you flex them, you move them a little bit, but do you find that your decks are very similar? And the other question then is, where do you find your list? Do you put them up or anything or no?
All my decks lists are not up right now. They used to have them up on a website, but that website is now closed. Architect is where I got some lists. Architect, I need worked that deck out a little more. That site, Architects, where I shared some decks a day, which I need to I need to go and fix that. But like my shell, does it make my decks feel the same? They play nearly the same, but my decks are fairly adverse because of what they do, right? So there's a common Tortoise theme, right? Tortoise sometimes plays slow, gets some draw spells, removes things, waits for it, builds, crushes, right? But that's changed, right? Because like you can't expect that same shell to work in a mono green deck, and that same build work the same in a 5-color deck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my Joda deck doesn't has less ramp in some ramp in it, but a lot of the money of the deck, and that thanks to people who for Mel days and stuff help perfect the land, right? The land came in like I got triumphs and stuff from subscribers and who sent them out to me to help with this deck. That the mana base is near perfect, where I get all the colors I need by turn 5, so I can cast my commander turn 4 and play a 5-color spell turn 5.
Nice. I've got one more question, then I'll shut up for the rest of the episode here.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm sorry. I love the topic, obviously. Do you build also, though, when you build your decks, do you build them to play on spell table?
Yes. Now, Valky is a little iffy on that because he exiles cards from people's hands and I can play them. But yeah, there are certain cards that will not run, like opposition agent. I've had an opposition agent. I've had another card that really tutors for people, but like it's not really that it's spell table stopping me from playing the spells either. It's I don't like those kind of spells. Like I don't want to go through my opponent's deck, or I don't want to do anything that makes me interact with my opponent's cards at all, really, unless I'm playing like a steel creature spell, like mind control, right? If I want my opponent's creature, I'll still it on board. It's easier that way. It's easier on spell table to do that way, but tutoring through my opponent's deck, playing Thieves Auction, I will not play on spell table, and I wouldn't play that in real life because it's just a weird card. I do like my chaotic cards, even though I just had to take out my unexpected results on my Chilean deck because I just had a upgrade deck. And if you haven't watched DJ's last late night game show, you'll see how much I wrecked playing my cards right. Like I ended up going infinity turns. This and go with that. Like I need to update my Chilean deck, but there are some decks I won't play too often on spell table or in real life because it's too salty, or it's just one specific thing. Like my Chilean deck has one specific goal, and that's to get a lot of stompy stomps out there and take infinite turns. And it doesn't matter which way it goes. Hello. That's the way it goes. So like some decks I won't run. Like I hate decks that are too complicated to play myself. Like my Planeswalker deck is probably one of my most complicated decks because I have to worry about activations. And I like the deck. I love the deck, but I play it as simple as possible because like the complications can be needlessly complicated. So I always try to go for the most basic of which ways I can go with a deck and how I can play with a deck. Because I'm more that I don't know. Captain Waffles gets crazy with his decks and his complications, but but he's a drafter, and I kind of go in that draft realm. Like if I'm playing as simple as possible, I like my stomps, my bombs, my removals, and I stick to that format. You know what I'm saying? Like
Grog go smash, Grog go boom.
Right. That's why I have 3 different dinosaur decks, literally 3 different dinosaur decks. It's just because I love the stomp stomps. It's my Chilean deck says stomp stomp. 2 of the decks I got a good friend of the channel, Prime 406 Game sent me, and I edited them a little different, but they're still simplistic enough. One of them is a Planeswalker deck, and I play that as simple as possible. Then I got like tons of decks, and there's just a couple of them I won't touch for spell table.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
actually working on. I'm thinking about building one more commander deck, and it's based off of an old deck that I used to play in standard. And I want to. The problem though is it's a very fragile glass cannon deck. So
Right.
it's one of those things where I got to try to figure out how to make it work. But basically, the combo is to play Cascade Swans and Seismic Assault and kill everybody by pitching lands. And it's going to be like 75 lands in the deck or something stupid. And it's a lot of like, because the original deck was Cascade Swans. You basically played all these spells that were 4 mana spells that cascaded you into Seismic Assault immediately. And then you would turn 4 play Swans, and then you would just pitch lands at the Swans to draw your deck.
Right.
And then once you had enough damage, you would pitch all your lands to kill your opponent.
Pitch all the
So I want to play a deck that's similar to that. And what you do is you play like Wheel of Sun and Moon in there so that every time a land goes to the graveyard, it goes to the bottom of your deck. So you can't deck yourself out. And so you basically just filter and cycle through your entire deck, drawing it and then pitching lands and killing people.
James, really late. You got your time for the end step. All right. But no, that's pretty good.
And so, like, to go with the whole theme of building a commander deck, I'm not somebody that goes and looks at lists when it comes to commander. I like to build whatever it is with my knowledge and what I want. I will look at like Gatherer and things like that to get ideas of cards, but I don't like to see other people's deck lists. Just because I like to make it like uniquely mine. And that comes from just the years of experience of playing that I'm like, I have enough card knowledge and game knowledge to know what I want in the deck and how I want it to function.
Right.
But for newer players, like absolutely go look at deck lists and try to figure out like what the quote unquote shell is or what the theme of the deck is or what is it that they're trying to, what is their win condition, things like that, to where you get an idea of like the commander you're going to use and does the commander fit your theme or is the commander literally there just to give you the colors to fit your theme? Like what exactly are you trying to do? What utility cards are going to be good? For me, like I've said before, I like modular cards. I like cards that can do this or that. I like, and not just a one-trick pony card of like dissolve, where it's like counter a spell.
So
I wanted to
like Spree as an ability card.
Yeah, Spree. I think Spree is a fantastic card ability. But like if you look at Supreme Will, or you look at Fastest Intervention, or things like that, to where it's like a this or that. Cryptic Command, Urza's Command, like a lot of those cards where it's like, in this game, I need these 2 modules, and then in the next game, it's completely different because you're in a different scenario. So being able to have as many options as possible with the same cards is super valuable. So that's why I always look for those type of cards, like the Esper charms, the charms from New Streets of Capenna. Like those charms are very good in commander decks. There's so many utility cards out there where you can do that. So, and then the lands, like land, I've seen decks where it's like they're playing tons of board wipes and then they're killing you with their lands. They're like, here's a layer of the Hydra and I'm hitting you for 15 because you have no creatures. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different paths to take, and it's like find your flavor and work towards that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, that like. So when it comes to looking at deck lists for when building a deck, I never really look at deck lists, but when I start getting the deck list, it's because I'm looking for cards I haven't thought about. Back to my room. You know, it's like sometimes there's a combo piece or there's a card that people are running, but like there's times like when I was building a Rafik deck, I was looking at people's Rafik's decks because I was struggling because all I had when I first built the deck a long time ago, all I had was commons and uncommons. I was looking at people's deck list and I'm like, looking at their list, I'm like, why aren't they running this card? Why aren't they running that card? And so it ended up being reversed for me because my deck was so powerful at the beginning of the time for my play group. Like it's more powerful now than it used to be, but it's very powerful at the time for a popperish deck. and I say pauperish because a lot of it was commons and uncommons, with the exception of a couple 4-wipes at the time. That like, but like I've already built the deck before, so I kind of knew what I was looking for. It was interesting to see that people built the deck around winning with Rafik instead of making Rafik a killer with cards already on the battlefield, and I'm like, that was a switch. So experience lets you get there. Experience helps you get there. You need more experience, but one of the best ways to get to deck building is to like use the gatherer. Look up a card ability, like target player discards a card if you want that. Like that's what I did one day, and I tried sending James a list of cards. I'm like, hey, do you have these cards for trade or something? And he's like, well, I only got one of those. And I'm like, and surprisingly, because like he has a stock of cards, and they were common, uncommon cards, really, except for one was a rare. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, like Stronghold Rats is a card I want for the Valky deck. It has Shadow, and when it connects to the player, that player discards a card. I'm like, that's interesting that goes there. But also,
so here's another tip for deck building. You can have 100 cards in your commander deck, right? But if you're let's say you're building a new deck, okay, and you get to a point where you have like 110 or 115 cards that you want to play, set those 10 to 15 cards aside that didn't make the deck, play the deck a couple times, and you're going to find out there may be anywhere between 1 to 5 cards that just don't perform the way you thought.
Right.
And now those quote unquote sideboard cards or leftover cards, you can switch those in and test those out now too. It's something I always do when I'm building. I'll get a big old fat pile of cards, and then at the end I'm like, I have 150 cards. So let's trim this down, and then I leave the other 50 kind of to the side. And as I test the deck and play it, I realize, okay, this card did not work the way I wanted it to, or these 5 cards are absolute garbage in this deck. I'm going to switch them out for these. And so it helps you kind of have that backup of like, all right, well, this didn't work. I mean, it's a lot of trial and error sometimes. You have to not be like, oh, well, this deck, kind of identify where you might be having, like, if there's a certain card that you've drawn multiple times and it's just dead every time you have it, take the card out. Like, it doesn't belong in the deck.
Oh, yeah. And I was actually about to particular thing up myself about playing around with cards, seeing what cards will work for you. But another good thing to do with deck building is after you kind of got like something formed and you start, and maybe you play the deck once or twice, ask your friends for advice. Like, have your deck list ready, or have a way they can look at your deck and be like, hey, this is what I'm building. Do you see any weaknesses or ways I can improve upon what I built? And that can help. Like, people like me are pretty good. Captain Waffles is really good at deck building because he's very competitive, knows what he's looking for. And they're not telling you to come to me or Captain Waffles. The executives come to us to look for decks, because there's a lot of friends out there that you have. Talk to your friends and see what they can help. If you ever have, like, the best way to get some advice on this show is share your deck for the deck of the day. We go through the deck. We'll give us our opinions about it. Self-shill right there. Look at that.
Definitely.
Yeah. But right now we are running too late for deck of the day. But it's been awesome. This is the part where I have a bumper where we're this is where I want to make a second bumper. That's not the same, where it's going from the topic to the end step, or where we do the movers and shakers and stuff. But we had such a fun-filled day today. We're just going to go straight into the shill section, starting with MTG Hillbilly.
What's up, everybody? I wasn't ready for this. All right. I'm at 437 subs still. Trying to get to that 500 so I can try to do another giveaway. And if you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I do daily content, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time most days, unless something happens, something comes up.
I will be doing since I didn't get to stream this morning, I will be doing an afternoon stream, 12 o'clock. And I'm going to put up a post on YouTube to find out what colors you'd like to see me make a deck out of, or what creature you would like to see in the deck. And I'll be looking at that post before 2 o'clock, and then I'll jump on Arena and make a deck with that card or those colors. And really all I have to share for today.
All right. And we're going to slide on over to Matt Saxon to Balta Apprentice. What's up?
Hey, not a lot of. Probably in the next 15 minutes, there should be a new video going live. If you saw me on Instagram yesterday, you already saw all the Thunder Junction packs opened. If you hadn't or don't do Instagram, that's fine. You'll see it in about 15 minutes on YouTube. So you can go there, and there's some added bonus that won't have the cool music that the other ones did, but it will have some other cool music that was AI generated. But anyhow, that will be going up, like I said, in about 15 minutes, and you'll see maybe a couple of extra pictures on the side there where my wife and I spent some time, like I said, at Knott's Berry Farm yesterday opening Thunder Junction packs.
Those are some fancy pictures. I was following you on your Instagram account. I saw your pictures. I saw your video of opening a pack. You can find Tabalt's Apprentice Instagram account. In fact, what I probably should do is get your Instagram handle and put it in the descriptions when you're on.
It's easy. Just Tibbles_Apprentice is all it is and stuff. And the only reason I'm pushing that is because it is more daily, more spontaneous content that goes up there. But I mean, stick around here on YouTube because that's where the other stuff goes up, the more evergreen stuff. And we're still working on exactly what's going to happen. One of those 6 packs of Eldritch Moon is going to be given away to a friend. The other 5 are going to be given away. 2 will be given away here on YouTube, and 3 will be given away on Instagram. So that's probably enough shilling for me, but thank you very much for having me here.
That's the point of the shill section is the shill.
Indeed.
Ciao. All right. Let's see. Any shill from the Cookie Dude?
No, I got nothing. I think we're want to play a game after the show here. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that's all I have. It was an interesting topic for me. It's way beyond my pay level right now, but very interesting.
Very interesting.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Captain Waffles, anything you want to show?
I got some new videos coming out. I'm going to record some stuff when I get home today. I'm feeling better, a lot better than I was yesterday. And now that I'm home again, I can start getting some content filmed. I got some mail that finally came in from some people, so I'm going to do a mail day video soon. Also going to link a P.O. box in my channel because now you guys can send me stuff if you want to support the channel. And then, the stuff that's coming out later on this year, I'm keep teasing it, but I'm not going to say nothing about it yet until I get some more stuff finalized. But be on the lookout for something big. And then the next pool game, I'm getting dates and times situated. So
pretty cool. Beautiful. Anything you want to show? No, you had to step away. All right.
This guy just does not be quiet.
Right? Well, today, super fast towards today, and honestly, I did forget to set up the right table to play Commander with Dad today, but we can do that like in an hour, okay? Like I have to get things set up in an hour. We can play some Commander on spell table. If Hillbilly wants to jump on, I don't know if anybody else wants to jump on to play the Coogie Dude.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. It gives me time to set up and everything.
All right.
But tonight is also Wednesday, right? I did that like powerhouse. Today's Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'll be streaming some Spider-Man.
Man.
Spider-Man.
Right? She's excited.
Spidey can. All right. I'm excited. I got to set up too. I got to switch everything from the office to the living room table.
Yeah, well, every day I set up the stream, I'm always asking what day it is, and I'm like, what table do I need? Because we got the small table and we got this big table, and I'm like, oh, I need the big table, and I set up the big table. But today I forgot to set up the big table because I had a rough night of sleep last night, to be honest.
But
And
an
I
hour's
finally
good.
got-
An hour's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so in an hour, or like I might get it at 1:15. I'll send you the links when I get things ready and set up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, hour and a half. You know, whatever works for everybody.
All right. So I want to thank everybody for being here today, making the show full of fun and epic sauce. And it was a packed show, and man, we are getting the hang of this, and this is becoming more professionally built. Thanks to everybody in the room, everybody in the chat. You guys rock. You guys rule. And heck, and even though I probably make another outro for sure. You guys are having a good time, and sorry, Captain Waffles had to go a little bit earlier, but always listen to Lord Megatron. Lord Megatron.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron? Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun. Fear not, Megatron.